nice. You'd be proud, dude. I'm proud, I know you.
In today's video, the previous owner of our 200,000 mile, near $70,000 Datsun 240Z will see it driving for the first time in almost half a decade, and I'm hoping he'll feel good enough to drive it in this episode. Outside of burning money to get this car running, we've also got thousands of hours in random fixes from friends, partners, and shops. We've confused ourselves as we've walked through over 55 years of history behind every fender, bolt, and dusty box. We've fixed issues in 5 minutes, and some we're still not sure of, but you've helped us with every episode. You've told us that even with the missing heater cores and broken glass, that you wanted to see this car kept as a narrow body, not wide body. I've had people tell me in equal measure that 1, I'm complaining too much about a project car, and 2, that we should paint it either blue or green. Since the last episode, Carl from Lindgren Supercars and his team got our RB26 single turbo running on pump fuel. The 6 AM lines and a weak pump prevented us from running E85, Wisconsin's favorite gasoline, which means we were left with 500 horsepower to the rear wheels. But now, we've got to make sure that it won't get catfished. After all, it's heading to Slammedenuff Sevierville, or Gatlinburg, which means we need to make sure it can drive and arrive. While this is all well and dandy, this car does in fact drive like a fat sailboat. So we're off to Rob's import repair to get that fixed. If your car feels like the Jetsons car, you probably need an alignment, especially after installing coilovers. At Martini Works, people will reach out to us after buying BC coilovers or Fortunatos and say that their car drifts and doesn't feel as tight as they thought. And a lot of the time, it's because the car is never aligned afterwards, and that can make a big difference.
Okay, so when you go and you get a brand new suspension put on a car, you actually have to go and get it aligned. Now, like I said, Rob's Import Repair we've used in Appleton for like multiple years now, it feels like, almost on every car we do. And they're awesome people. They don't pay us to say that, they just are great. I want to show you what the before and after looks like. This is why it's so important to get your stuff aligned when you change it around. Red bad.
That's a lot of red, sir.
Red bad, okay? We had 4.4 degrees of tow on the left front and negative 1.1 on the right. We had negative 2 degrees of total tow in the rear with negative 1 on the left side and negative 0.3 on the right, which is sick. Now, if we look at it after the fact, we're still running negative 3 degrees of camber in the back. That was purposeful to make those 205/50s fit with the 15x8s. We tried to get as low as we could. Look at how much better that tow is. Total tow at 0, total tow in the front, 0.23 degrees, looking way better. So, alignment done, tune done, dyno pulls done. Next up, the most important thing is not lighting, it's tint.
And while we weren't planning to hide the interior of the car because I quite like it, the tint just helps pull the rest of the things we have to do together, which is a front bumper, fender mirrors, interior seats, harnesses, and a few miles to make sure we're not gonna end up on the side of a mountain broken down. If you remember, there were some parts that we thought we had from purchasing it back from Driver Motorsports, but when we received the glass, it was broken, so we had to buy another. One of the other big things that we were missing were these seats, Brid Eurostar 2s. But good news, Driver ended up sending me another set because they were on the original invoice when I bought the car. I was honestly a little bit worried about the gray and the more touring style seat versus race seats you normally see, but what's even worse is these. I don't want to admit it. I don't want to say that I've been changed, but I didn't know that these came with seat belts. You know I hate these. They're useless 99% of the time, and they aren't needed on a street car. But we need them. The OEM seat belts look like politics, and with the new seats, the harnesses have become a necessity. Takata harnesses were actually a Chad pick way back when, so we're going to keep them with the setup. But our permanent fix will need to be different seat rails because our current ones make the seats sit a bit too high, which pinches the harnesses above the recommended angle through the seats. Everything on this car has been nostalgic. From literally using old bolts from my 280Z to put corner lights in, to realizing exactly how to make the hood close the right way the first time. And the only thing we had left that I and thousands of others have done a billion times that should be absolutely no issue were these authentic Nissan fender mirrors.
That's huge. That's big. Safety squints. Safety squints. Versus the guy she tells you not to.
We were so close. We were so ungodly close. We were so silly, stupid close. So damn close. Why did we have to do... Oh, Jackson fixed it. My God, that would have been dangerous. In 2022, I left that old wheel company because it felt like I was forced to make a decision, people or profits. I'm not a saint by any means, but I'm not someone who believes in taking advantage of people. Things are supposed to be trades. It was a really hard year, and I remember that year like it was yesterday. It was scary, the letters, everything, panicking how I was gonna figure out how to even pay for my bills. But I still decided to scrounge up enough money to sponsor Slammedenuff Sevierville with Martini Works before we could even sell car parts. It was a scary time, both in my personal life and what I was supposed to do as a career for the rest of my life. But you, the community, and my close friends taught me that there was still a path forward. Ever since, we've come back bigger and sometimes maybe even gone too far. But all of that to show that we truly give a shit about this community. So since we're here, let's show the rest of the community what we finally got on the road. Which is why I couldn't think of a better place to invite Chad and his family out to check out the car.
Wow, this is a lot.
So we put the Kata grid Eurostars in there. We finished up the center console. We kept that kind of resto steering wheel that I know you had.
That was the competition,
gauges,
yeah?
Yep, the gauges are the same.
Oh my gosh.
So we got her up and running with the help of Carl from Linger and Supercars and Vibrant and Garrett, Techno Toy Tuning, and pretty much everyone that you see as a label on this thing, they helped in some way, shape, or form figuring it out or telling us we did something wrong. But pump gas, $4.95
Okay.
to the wheel.
That's a lot for a car that weighs
That's
virtually nothing.
Yeah, that's
probably
a lot.
At this point.
Yeah, I think it's right around, I think when we weighed it, it was 2108.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, just about 2108.
Way lower than I thought it was going to be.
Gave me something, and so we're gonna have it in the booth. I gotta make sure it doesn't fall because I gotta be careful with it. Not much storage space in these things.
There you go.
So this is a painting from your neighbor, right?
Back from my uncle's neighbor.
My uncle's neighbor, or your uncle's neighbor. This is your farm though, right?
This is at my farmhouse, yeah.
And then this is the Z from. It's
Yep.
marked 2000 though. We're gonna put this up at the booth. You
Love
haven't
it.
seen the booth yet,
Haven't
but
seen the
it'll
booth yet.
I think it'll flow pretty much perfectly with how we have the
love it.
actual the booth set up. So.
Oh, dude, you guys. It's nice to meet you. You'd be proud, dude. I'm proud, I know you.
So, okay, neutral. All right, just hit her on here.
Press it down until she starts.
It's rolling. It's moving.
This car is nowhere near done. It's still got rust in corners we couldn't get to. Our exhaust rubs on the frame rail and our E85 problem has yet to be solved. Our interior looks like a German nightclub and the radio we've saved up is still in its own little box collecting dust. But we did exactly what we said we'd do. We've taken the first big step in being a steward for this Series 1 Datsun 240Z. A car that defined Chad's childhood with his uncle Steve. The car that saw over 200,000 miles, decades of history history, moments of memories that were both good and probably bad. A car that meant the world to this family, which had stayed close to this build since we started it nearly a year and a half ago. So thank you for being a part of this. It may be a few weeks before you see it again, but I promise this is a car we will continue to steward and work on as we get into the cold, dark nights of Wisconsin winter. But our goal between then and now is simple. We make this car look perfect. So thank you for watching, and if you're looking for any car parts, don't forget to mod your car with your friends at martiniworks.com. If you don't need parts but you'd still like to support, consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow.